we just went into this MRI thinking कुछ भी नहीं है, it's just मेरे मन का वहम है. And जब MRI की reports आई, and the neurologist said that she has like more than 30% brain damage, and she will never walk without anything.
From the Garden State, New Jersey, from one mom to another, it's time for Mom's Talk. Here's Avani.
Welcome, Supermoms. Our today's Supermom guest is joining us from Austin, Texas. She is the founder of a very popular group called Kyra's Imperfectly Perfect Lyf. Welcoming Swati Mittal. कहाँ से हैं आप? Where are you from and how did you come to US?
मैं सूरत गुजरात से हूँ, but not typically, but मेरे mom dad मेरठ से है, UP, and then मेरे father had a state job, and then वो सूरत गुजरात move हो गए, and I was born सूरत में, so I call myself honorary Gujarati. Yeah, I grew up Gujarat, Surat, and then मैं पढ़ने के लिए I went Mumbai.
Okay.
I'm a dentist, so I'm a bachelor's in dentistry from Mumbai. And then मेरी शादी हो गई, and then मैं US आ गई, and it was always 1-2 साल के लिए जाएंगे, just a break from dentistry जो मुझे चाहिए था, and because I cannot practice यहाँ पे, I need another license. So I was like, let's go US घूम के आएंगे 2-3 साल, and then we'll come back India, and God had different plans. So it was God's calling कि you are going to stay in US forever now.
All right, I think बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ ये होता है. ये चीज मैंने काफी सुनी है कि कुछ टाइम के लिए जाएंगे और फिर वापस आ जाएंगे, पर एक बार जब जाते हैं तो सिचुएशंस बदलती हैं, काफी सारी चीजें बदलती हैं, and then we are here. आपके केस में कैसा था स्वाति? What kept you here?
The minute I landed, like I took one step on the land of US, and I don't know क्यों, but it felt home. I took a step down, and I have no family, no friends. कोई भी मुझे नहीं जानता यहाँ पे, मैं किसी को नहीं जानती, and yet somehow it felt घर आ गई. And I never missed anything, just loved it so much. And then Pihu, when she was born and diagnosed, I still came back घर पे because I wanted to practice, and I missed the part of dentistry that I want to go home and check क्या है क्या नहीं है. And I did come home. I have so many friends in medical field, and I took so many opinions, but somehow it just didn't click. So this felt somehow more home, and so I decided that we're not going back now. This is it. But I can't describe that feeling. It was like the first time I took a step, and it just instantly was my home.
बहुत कम लोगों से मैंने इस तरीके की बात सुनी है कि यहाँ पर आकर के भी उनको इतनी होमली फीलिंग आई. कोई पिछले जन्म की तो चीज नहीं है ना, पिछले जन्म में आप यहाँ ही थे.
So they do this past life regression. I don't know आपने सुना है कि नहीं, but there's this hypnosis where you can go back into your past life and figure that out. मुझे वो करना था just to figure out why I feel so connected to this land. But I also feel, जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. Because if I didn't feel that comfortable यहाँ पे, then after Pihu का diagnosis, it would have gotten very hard मेरे लिए to stay यहाँ पे, and I would have, not been at peace with my rest of the journey. So it was very important मेरे लिए to feel comfortable at the start of my journey.
True.
So I feel it was just God's calling that you need to be यहाँ पे, and you need to feel comfortable यहाँ पे in order to carry what's coming. And I didn't even know what's coming, but if I didn't feel घर जैसा, then I would have probably had a harder time. So,
Swati, a lot of people know about your group, about your life and your daughter's life, but there are many more who are unaware of that. If you don't mind sharing your experiences, या जो पहली diagnosis थी, या किस तरीके से ये चीज इन चीजों का आपको पता पड़ा?
It was my first kid, मेरा पहला बच्चा था. So you get all kinds of information. ये मत करो, ये मत करो, ये मत करो. And when it's your first, तुम्हें और कुछ भी नहीं पता होता. So you rely heavily on घर वाले जो बोल रहे हैं, because और किससे क्या पूछोगे, right? So it is
True.
जो वो बोल रहे हैं सही है, but medicine has changed. Medical has changed. And US का rule है कि by 42 weeks you do not induce or you do not do anything, and it's normal to go. India का apparently शायद ये rule नहीं है, या they intervene faster. So it was a complicated birth at the end. And she was stuck birth canal में for some time, and then they immediately did a C-section. She was born 41 weeks पे. Somewhere along that line, she couldn't breathe. And because she couldn't breathe, she had a stroke. And because of the stroke, a part of her brain got damaged, which didn't get diagnosed till she was 13 months old. So she was discharged from the hospital as a healthy newborn. Nothing wrong with her, nothing wrong with me. And we did hire lawyers to look back into it, because sab itna chaotic scene tha. Something went wrong with the doctors ki galti hai, US ki galti hai, ye hai, wo hai. And nothing checked out. It was just a stroke of luck that happened. And nothing checked out. Like mera neurologist and everyone was like, just luck that happened. Nothing went wrong medical care wise. So I feel it is so important to stress, because people yahan US mein, Indians who get diagnosed will automatically blame first line the doctors. That practices are so different. Unki galti hai. Now I don't think unki galti hai, because I paid so much money just for mera mental peace to see did something go wrong. Because I kept blaming myself that something went wrong with me. So I needed someone else to blame. And it's just such an Indian thing that I need someone to blame. I have to. And nothing checked out. She was all fine. And by 6 months, Pihu, my daughter, I call her Pihu, Kyra, बच्चे दोनों हाथ यूज करते हैं. Now I am from a medical field. I've grown around. मैंने बहुत पढ़ा है. पीहू यूज करती थी कभी कभी नहीं. पीडियाट्रिशियन के पास लेके गए, पीडियाट्रिशियन वाज नॉट वरीड. कुछ बच्चे डिलेड होते हैं, नॉर्मल होता है. बट समथिंग इन माय माइंड वाज दिस डज नॉट लुक नॉर्मल. तो बाय 9 months मैंने फिजिकल थेरेपी शुरू कर दिया था. जस्ट टू हेल्प हर. नो, I had a physical therapist come in, but मैंने बहुत लड़ा था पीडियाट्रिशियन के साथ कि अगर कुछ भी नहीं है तो she'll just catch up faster. And she was like, ठीक है, you can do that. And I did that. But even 1 month of physical therapy, Pihu was not improving. Like she was crawling, but army crawl kar rahi thi. She was not all fours. This is not typical. And being from medical field, I can tell you this is not typical. But when I talk दूसरे parents के साथ या मेरी mom के साथ या गोविंद की mom के साथ, everyone's like, कुछ बच्चे बेटा crawl ही नहीं करते हैं, they start walking. But that's not typical. I know that. Being from that field, I'm more ingrained कि this is not typical. She needs help. तो मैंने pediatrician को और बक करना शुरू किया. And she's like, Swati, the next step is going to a neurologist, which is extreme. तो वो तुम्हारा call है. And I was like, I told Govind that I want to take that call. I want to be certain कि कुछ नहीं है. And we just went into this MRI thinking कुछ भी नहीं है. It's just मेरे मन का वहम है. And जब MRI की reports आई, and the neurologist said that she has like more than 30% brain damage. And she will never walk without anything. She needs aids like a cane or a mobility walker or something to walk. It was like ground just shifted, because we just not hoping कि ये आएगा. We were more like just checking off a checkbox कि कुछ नहीं है. The 13 months, and it was all because I pushed. She got diagnosed. And when ये diagnosis आया, then everything just went into action plan mode. Now, I don't know, अगर मैंने ये नहीं किया होता तो कब diagnose होती. probably वो
जी
जब बिल्कुल ही वॉक नहीं कर पाती, by the time she's 3,
yeah
तब भी लोगों ने सीरियसली लिया होता, तब इंटरवीन किया होता.
mm-hmm.
इसीलिए मैंने ये पेज बनाया, इम्परफेक्टली परफेक्ट, जस्ट बिकॉज मैं नहीं चाहती पेरेंट्स टेक अ स्टेप बैक एंड लाइक कैचअप कर
जी
लेगा या नहीं करेगा.
mm-hmm.
एंड देन शी स्टार्टेड थेरेपीज एट 13 months.
Mm-hmm.
उस वक्त देन डायग्नोसिस आ गया तो एवरीथिंग सेट्स इनटू मोशन. Then you are not the paranoid parent anymore. You are now
Mm-hmm.
the proactive parent.
So there's a switch you just switch mentally
Right.
that
So
okay,
इससे
this is
पहले
what I need to
everyone,
do now.
उससे पहले therapies पीयू कर रही थी at 9 months, but no one was serious about them because we were more like,
Yeah.
we are just being proactive. But
Mm-hmm.
now you're not being proactive anymore. Now it's a treatment plan. This is now the
Yeah.
treatment. You got to work to it. So I called बहुत सारे मेरे friends जो physical therapy में हैं, trying to gain as much information. I asked them to send me all the books that they can. And
Mm-hmm.
luckily being from that field, I could understand a little
Mm-hmm.
faster. जो नहीं समझ आ रहा, I can call my friends and just
Mm-hmm.
gain knowledge faster. And we set into motion plan. And Pihu started walking around 17 months. She took
Mm-hmm.
few steps. Like she wasn't walking, but started taking steps.
All right.
And after that, she just started gaining and gaining. Uske baad, there was no stopping her. So that's the whole story of getting to the point diagnosis from 0 to walk.
You think that early, the early decision that you made for the physical therapy helped her to get to this level?
Yes.
Or was
And
there anything else that you did along with that?
Therapies to start ho gayi thi by 9 months, but when we got the diagnosis, we did so much more. Scalp acupuncture and basically whatever I could do under the earth, I did it. But har cheez ka solution, har cheez treatment wise didn't fare off. Har cheez bahut expensive thi and desperate parents do whatever they can. So going forward, many parents ko bolna shuru kiya ki har cheez mat karo because I did it. कोई फायदा नहीं दिखा, कोई फर्क नहीं दिखा. एंड सबसे ज्यादा फर्क मुझे थेरेपी से दिखा. आई यूज्ड टू डू घर पे अपने आप फाइंडिंग एक्टिविटीज जो मैं कर सकती हूँ टू मेक हर डू, टू गेन स्ट्रेंथ उसके मसल्स में. आई डिड. हर दिन हमारा रूटीन होता था 4-5 घंटे हम बैठ के थेरेपी करेंगे, व्हिच वाज काइंड ऑफ लाइक अ प्ले. सो आई देन स्टार्टेड पोस्टिंग देम ऑनलाइन फॉर पेरेंट्स कि अगर तुम्हें नहीं समझ आता हाउ टू मेक इट प्ले एंड थेरेपी, I'll post them. I do them so much at home and I'll post them. And they are cheap. You don't need so many things and products to do them. And online मैंने पढ़ा कि कहीं पे कास्ट पहनाया जाता है. So Piyu का पूरा left side is paralyzed. When she was diagnosed, Piyu अपना हाथ भी नहीं उठा पाती थी. Like it's not there. उसके brain में this part of the body doesn't exist. And I read about this therapy कि अगर तुम उसका right hand बांध दोगे तो brain is kind of forced to use the left. अब बांधने के लिए कास्ट बनता है स्पेशल एंड बहुत दूर कहीं बनता है यूएस में भी. And I couldn't go वहाँ पे. I'm a single earning family and it's just crazy expensive. So I figured out a way socks से कैसे बांधना. I just figured out alternative ways to make it work and it did work. And once it started working, Govind was like, maybe you should post these things क्योंकि इंडिया में भी ये सब नहीं होता है. And I'm sure parents are desperate all around the world. So I was like, okay, I can post these things. And it kind of went out from there. So, but I didn't start posting till Pihu was around 3. When we pretty much knew everything there was to know about cerebral palsy. Like मेरी initial story कहीं पे भी नहीं है because nobody is taking pictures of them. It's so raw and it is you're crying वहाँ side में बैठ के and kid is crying वहाँ side में बैठ के because you're pushing and pushing. Once I knew मैं क्या कर रही हूँ and it started showing results is when I started posting. So those early phases of Pihu कहीं भी नहीं है. मेरे camera roll में भी नहीं है for now to post them later on. So I started doing them with my younger one. You can do these, though she's not delayed, but these are the things I did with Pihu as well. I just don't have the record of that.
स्वाति, आपके वीडियोस काफी लोगों ने देखे हैं, एंड दे आर very very helpful, and I must thank you for posting it on the group because a lot of people उससे benefit हो रहे हैं. इतना सब कुछ आपने किया, इस ग्रुप को चालू किया. You just said that once you realize that it's happening now, you can see the difference. That's when you started posting. इतना सब कुछ आप करते हैं, इतने वीडियोस बनाते हैं. It takes a lot of time, effort with the kids, with the household chores. How do you manage your time?
I have very strict routine. I mean, that mom just subah उठ के has like set of routine. जो बच्चे follow करते हैं, husband follow करता है, like there's no moving in it. And सुबह उठ के I would meal prep everything. जो मुझे करना है, and then I have set time कि अब मुझे ये activities करनी है बच्चों के साथ जो already बनी हुई होती हैं. All I do is just turn on the camera. That's it. रात को जब बच्चे मेरे 7 बजे दोनों सो जाते हैं, it's just absolutely important मेरी mental health के लिए for both of them to sleep. मैं सोती हूँ 10 बजे, so 7 से 10 is मेरा time when I will sit, create activities for them, या edit something for them, या reply to moms who are messaging me, or just sit and do nothing at all. And then in the morning, since I've already planned it out, mapped it out, it's just very easy to me. मैंने मेरे blog पे बहुत time share किया है the whole routine that we follow, and people who do follow me do know कि मेरा time routine is so set. Like 11 बजे my kid will take a nap, she's down for a nap. Like there's no negotiation यहाँ पे कि उसको नींद नहीं आ रही, नहीं, ऐसे होता ही नहीं. It is time to take a nap, and it is time to take a nap. Similarly, 12:30 बजे उठने का time है. I don't care तुम्हें ज्यादा नींद आ रही, I'll just wake you up.
So the routine is something that keeps you do a lot of things on
keeps
time.
Kids in check as well. Pihu has her own routine at 8. She knows what to do, when to do, how to do. It just gets done faster, and there's playtime bhi beech mein. I know a lot of people feel routine life is so strict life, but it's not. It's just more time managed life for kids to do whatever they want, moms to do whatever they want. Like abhi, right now I'm sitting here talking, but my lunch is already made, so I don't have to order bars or do something, because in the morning I just meal prepped it. So I think following a routine will give you a lot of freedom on time, where you want to put it.
Perfect, Swati. There is a lot spoken about by the parents about how they face the difficulty with their kids swallowing or walking. Is that something that you faced as well? If you could share some insights on that.
Recently, I shared a video of my 2-year-old little one eating roti sabji out of the plate like a pro. No mess, nothing. And it's right now going viral on Instagram. And people be complaining कि ऐसे नहीं होता है. But I'll tell you, Pihu swallowing, since you brought it up, couldn't swallow or chew. Chewing was सबसे बड़ा problem. उसे चबाए नहीं जाता था. And roti is a hard thing चबाने के लिए. So मैं रोटी को पीस के और भी घोल के ऐसे खिलाया है मैंने till she was 16 months. खिचड़ी भी नहीं खा पाती थी. I had to puree खिचड़ी भी. So I have been वहां पे. And then मेरी therapist was like, I think it's time now feeding therapy start करने के लिए. And then we started feeding therapy, जिसमें she used to gag so much, choke so much, and as a parent it was very hard to see. But then tomorrow you learn that this is how they need to get independent. You cannot be taking a step back यहाँ पे कि छोटी है छोड़ दो. Muscles तभी develop हो रही हैं, and you need them to develop on time. It is such an important thing that as parents it's so hard to see. But somehow when मैं उसकी therapy कर रही हूँ, I'm not her mom anymore. I just take the seat of this therapist who's here teaching. I'm a teacher teaching. And when I'm a teacher teaching, I'm not a mom with all the motherly feelings. So I separate myself out of it. Start of this journey, I told Govind कि I need to be extremely strict. And you need to be extremely not strict for people. She needs the balance of both. And Govind bilkul strict nahi ho sakte. He's just this very soft person who's like, I can't. Okay, then I will. So somehow that created this big role hamare life mein, you know, and that bachpan mein Pihu would not come to me, hug me, because she's always behind me, teaching me. I'm the hard parent, you know. I'm the parent who is pushing your limits and teaching constantly. So it was so hard, and I would sit and cry corner. Mickey, she doesn't want to come to me. It was hard. But as she grew older, that difference somehow gets smaller, you know. बच्चे घर नहीं बना लेते उसको, and parents somehow thinks कि how will they see us when they get older, but they see us differently. ऐसे नहीं रहता है हमेशा. So definitely मेरे back of the mind था, will she hate me forever? But we still have differences because she has ADHD, so I'm still teaching her. So we still have that differences, but it's not too much. It was hard watching her not being able to swallow, choking, gagging. But she did learn. By she turned 2, she was eating roti sabji apne haathon se. And her spoon skills were getting better. About walking, she used to take that big giant walker and walk with it. And then we saw कि doctor were like, अगर तुम्हारे घर में parallel bar होगा, or if you can go somewhere जहाँ पे parallel bar होगा, for her to practice, it's the next step after the walker. And we were like, it's so expensive. It was like some $2,000 or more. Like, ये कैसे afford होगा? So me and Govind made it from PVC pipes in under $50. We're like, here you go. It's like and we posted the tutorial online कि you do not have to make excuses कि ये नहीं हो पाएगा. Or you don't get to raise your
होता भी है ना, when it's so expensive, it's you feel bad about it, that okay, you know, I cannot get something like this which is super expensive, but like how you did it, you know, just putting few things together and making it yourself.
It's not pretty, it's not stable, but you can stabilize it. But the point was कि you do not get to raise your hands and complain and cry about it. You know, this is the card you've been dealt with, and deal with it. And we never पूरे journey में हमने कभी भी ये शब्द नहीं बोला कि कैसे होगा, क्या होगा, क्यों होगा, हमारे साथ क्यों हो गया. These words are just not allowed मेरे घर में, and they're not allowed. This is what we got, and there's just no complaining, crying, cribbing about it. Like Pihu is allowed. We do not stop her from, because she's a growing kid. She needs to process those feelings. But after 1-2 mahina of crying, cribbing, we stopped as well. It's not productive. It's not healthy. And we posted these tutorials online कि अगर तुम्हारे पास तुम नहीं खरीद सकते हो हमारे जैसे, तो you can definitely make it. And Pihu started doing the parallel bar exercises more, and slowly she let go of them. She took her first steps, and then she started walking. And then now today, she can swim, run. She has her first horse riding competition coming up next Sunday. So she's going to compete for the first time in a horse riding competition. So life has opened up when you stop complaining.
Lovely. That's wonderful to hear, Swati. Itne sorted hain aap. You're so sorted in your mind. And you know, there is, as I spoke about this earlier, there's a switch in your mind that, you know, there is no blaming ourselves or anybody about, or even the doctors about what happened, why it happened. You are a therapist while you're in therapy with your child. You're a mother when you're a mother. So there is a clear distinction in your mind, and you have sort of trained it in a different way. Something that I just learned while talking to you. ये इतना easy नहीं होता है, Swati. How what kind of a person you were while you were a child? Because this is a very important thing to do with your own mind. This is like a mind exercise where you're just, you know, kind of controlling the thoughts and how you think. How were you like in your childhood years?
It's a whole another topic for a whole another interview, I feel. But growing up, my childhood was extremely hard. Like hard. मेरा छोटा भाई है. Social norms dictated he's more loved. and ye to chali jane wali hai, so gotta teach. So I never bonded a lot with my parents. And there were a whole bunch of things that I'm not going to get into, but it was just a very hard childhood. Jab main college mein gayi, I was having a real hard time college maybe. And mera college also had psychiatry because MBBS bhi wahin tha, BDS bhi wahin tha. And by the age of 18 or 19, I was like, I have to go. And, I went, talked to this final year psychiatrist intern who was not even, a doctor yet. And he's like, you'll really benefit from therapy if you take it seriously. And he was graduating us time pe, and I was like, I feel the most comfortable with you. So I'm just going to go ahead with you, since you're graduating anyway. So I took therapy with him for about 3-4 years of my whole college, sorting myself out. And, I even had to go on some medication for myself. But young age mein wo karna was so much more helpful and beneficial to me. I had to unlearn a lot of trauma mere childhood ka and let it all go. Since I already had worked on me, I was a very sorted person. And the PU ka diagnosis aaya, I went back to mera therapist and he's like, you can take care of this. And we also again did 1 saal ki therapy, but it was easier to control it all. And then jab PU ka seizure aaya, when she had a seizure for the first time, I had PTSD. So I again went back to therapy. So time and again, I just kept back going to therapy, and therapy helped me so much understand what kind of person I am. And then I started reading a whole bunch of parenting books, knowing ki the way I was parented or we were parented is just so wrong. And I need to get better at this. And I went to seminars and this and this and this. It just kind of became like, I want to be the mother that I wasn't given. And now I'm given this child who's just extra hard by social norms. Like, she's not hard as a person, but it's harder to understand her and the social norms that go along with it. So it also, I feel, bachpan mein ye karna was such a destiny of mine, because I had to let go of all the social norms that come along with it. Kyunki tab bhi bola jata tha, abhi se kyun therapy mein hai, kya ho gaya hai, medicines le rahi ho, pata nahi kaisa, who will marry you agar ye cheezein bahar aa jati hain. It's just a whole bunch of nonsense that was going. But again, I broke that social norm at that time. Ki it is completely okay to do this. And now jab Pihu came into life, US mein to itna zyada taboo bhi nahi hai. But then again, jab wo diagnosed hui, to my parents and family and everyone was, don't tell anyone about the diagnosis, keep it a hush hush. Kyun page banana hai, kyun internet pe dalna hai, think about her future. And I'm like, what future? Are we ashamed of this? I certainly am not. And is she gonna be ashamed of it? Then no. अगर मैं कुछ बुरा नहीं कर रही हूँ, shameful नहीं कर रही हूँ, and I'm very mindful of कितना personal detail share हो रहा है. There's a whole bunch of stuff जो हो रहा है, but I don't share it. Even though it might help किसी और को, but I don't think I need to learn there's a difference यहाँ पे and यहाँ पे. But I feel अगर आप overwhelmed and go to therapy, it is not what people think. It just isn't. They will not give you a tablet just because तुम आए हो. And I also feel therapy is painful. You have to encounter tumhara truth. You have to say it out loud ki I am this kind of person. And it's hard, right? Agar aap aise person hai that needs to change, you can't accept it.
Yeah.
It's hard. So therapy, wahi log chhod dete hain because it's hard. I have cried, thrown things, broken things, not wanting to go. But then I have picked myself up that I need to go. So it's this breaking and unlearning and then entering and learning. So it's not overnight switch that flipped. College, I have worked on myself. And then if you look at many books, they're all filled with parenting books and just learning and more learning, or self-help books. Now at the stage, I feel I'm calm. It doesn't bother me so much. But even when Piyu was growing up, I have been to therapy back and again, especially the seizure. The seizure kind of broke us all so much. It was 45-minute long seizure. She was unconscious for 7 hours after that. And we were going outside for a vacation. My cousin was coming. So it was, a happy moment at the home. And suddenly it just ended in hospital. So our minds just couldn't take it. And doctor told me कि मुझे नहीं पता किस हालत में उठेगी, किसी को याद रखेगी नहीं रखेगी, intellectually उसका क्या scene है. They just can't tell looking at MRI when जब unconscious थी. So 7 hours of pure hell was like pure hell. It needed a lot of work, and coming back home, just मुझे नींद ही नहीं आ रही थी. I couldn't sleep. Like I would constantly keep watching her, checking temperature, and I went into this 7 days of no sleep till they had to give me a sedative. Swati, you need to sleep. And I would say it's just not as easy as it looks ki Swati kar leti hai. No, I have worked and cried my way through this.
Swati, one quick thing, what would be your message for all the mothers watching this show?
Be proactive is one. If you feel something's off, go get it checked. Society will say either way. Late checkup कराओगे तो भी society बोलेगी कि you were not a proactive mother. If you are a proactive mother, तो भी सुनाएगी. It's either or. I had this mom who texted me, मेरे बच्चे को autism के symptoms हैं, and I'm for sure he has autism. What can I do? Go get checked. Ask a doctor. No, I don't want to. फिर confirm हो जाएगा उसे autism है. You want that. You want that confirmation for your mind to be in place. Don't be scared of diagnosis is one thing I will tell moms. Diagnosis is not the end. It's the start. It is the absolute start of something. If you do end up getting a diagnosis, it's not zindagi barbaad ho gayi. No. It's just understanding your kid a little better how to help. That's all. And don't sulk, don't cry, don't complain. Say it. Get it done.
Lovely.
That's all I would say.
No, you just pinpointed the most important things that we all need to incorporate in our lives. So thank you so much for doing that, Swati. All the very best for all your future videos that you'll be making, for all the parents out there in the entire world, because this is very, very helpful what you're doing. Thank you so much for doing that. And thank you for coming on the show.
Sure, absolutely.